Hi everyone, this is Finchinator, and I'm going to bring you guys an RU game between New Breed, aka Cash Money Kev, and Luigi for week 10, well, aka semifinals of SPL. It's a 5-5 series between the Ruiners, which is Luigi's team, and the Classiest, which happens to be Cash Money Kevin, or aka New Breed's team. And let's look at the teams a bit. So we've got two teams. They look both pretty balanced. I think that Luigi's team's probably more offensive with the spikes, SR Diancie, and then two psychics, probably Siglif being the more offensive one, Slowking being a bulky offensive tank, and Virizion as a Swords Dancer, Combine Pokemon. Sneasel could be Pursuit Support, usually a Choice Band or Life Orb variant, while New Breed has probably a Stealth Rock, Registeel, a Flygon with Defog, Choice Sock of some sort, I assume, probably a Swords Dancer, maybe Choice Drapion, and then a Rotom, could be Wispax, could be Choice, and then Fletch, which is Acro, SD, Wisp kind of thing. And now we're going to see lead Flygon to lead Siglif. So this is pretty I think that Cash Money Kev has a bit of an advantage in this matchup, just given that you can outspeed it and do a lot in the offensive end. But it depends on the variant of Flygon and the variant of Siglif. So really, it goes down either way. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But looking at the teams, it's definitely a defog variant of Flygon. So probably not going to be able to threaten to Ochko this unless Life Orb Draco Ochko Siglif. But I don't think that's the case. Nevertheless, I think that we're gonna have to wait and see. I gather that the Siglif carries some moves at least to a KO the Flygon, be it Psychic or like random Ice Beam to Ochko, but I don't think that's very common. But it could be slower once again, as I said, because Flygon naturally outspeeds it. But it could be quicker if it's a bulkier D5 Flygon. So really, it's just all loving this contemplation. I'm looking at possible plays. Kevin could go into the Drapion to tank a Psychic or any really move besides Air Slash from Life Orb variant, which isn't even that common, I believe, and still, especially defensive variant, could take that well. Looks like Luigi could go into like Quillfish or Slowking. He goes into Quillfish, predicting a non-ground move because Siglif's a flying mon, and they go into Drapion. So yeah, both those plays are going to happen. We're going to both the poison mons in the Drapion. I believe is naturally quicker. Yeah, Drapion's naturally quicker, but at the same time, it doesn't always carry taunt. In which case, the Quillfish could be totally able to set up on it, or it could be like a Swords Dance Earthquake variant, or a taunt variant, in which case the Quillfish would not be able to set up on it. So it really depends on the sets, but if I were Luigi, I would just go for Spike, hoping that it would work. And he goes for a Scald instead, predicting a taunt maybe, and the Rotom is the safe play from Kevin, and it's going to reveal that it's a leftover Rotom, so maybe it's like a sub, or just a Wispask variant, but we're going to have to wait and see. Nevertheless, it looks like the play here for Luigi is probably to get on his way out to either Diancie or if Virizion doesn't mind a burn, I guess Virizion, but I don't think he's going to make that play this early in the game. There's no way he's going to stay in, so I guess Diancie is really the safe tank. It could be a Heal Bell Diancie, and it's probably going to get up Self-Axe. Also, I don't know if it's Diancie or Diancie or what, but I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I pronounced it wrong in the past, so just going to go with that. So yeah, there's no way Luigi's going to stay in here, and I think that Kevin has a free range to click whatever move he feels is best. He's going to go into the Virizion on the Wisp, that's going to cripple it for the physical variant, but if it's a special variant, it's not going to mind it too much. Fletch looks like it'll probably be the play here from Kevin. He could stay in tank attack. Could be Heal Bell on Diancie again, so that would not be a big deal if it was. He gets a free turn, but it could be annoying. We'll have to see. Burns never really are bad things to have on opponent Pokemon, unless it's like a Guts Pokemon or something. But yeah. Let's see here. I guess that the play here for Luigi is just to attack, while the play here for Kevin is just to go to the Fletch. But if Luigi wants to make a ballsy play, he could go out to Diancie, because again, it doesn't really mind the Rotom in the first place. And the Fletch seems fairly obvious, so it really depends on that. Luigi and Cash Money Kevin's timer is between 180 and 200 seconds approximately at this point. Most of them write it down in the thinking tank, but they're not putting too much thought into this point in the game. And Slowking's going to be played. It's interesting, and this can be a Volt Switch, and that's not going to do anything. But it will give Kevin momentum, probably going to his Drapion, maybe the Sock. So I think that play definitely advantaged the Kevin side. Well, I guess that Luigi predicted the Fletch, or I guess he predicted Fletch. Didn't want to get the NC burnt or something along those lines. He didn't want to lose momentum with the NC. I suppose that's the case. But anyway, the Sock is going to get its way on in. And now, if he clicks Earthquake, it's really going to fuck over that Quillfish. He's definitely not going to click Close Combat here. I don't think that's the case. I think that knockoff or Earthquake's play. I don't know if it carries Earthquake and RU on the standard set, though. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think knockoff is fairly safe as well. Play here is Quillfish, and let's see what New Breed's going to do here. He's going to go for a knockoff. That's only going to do 30. So that's gonna do still a fair amount, and it's gonna leave the quillfish without leftovers. Didn't have black sludge or leftovers, which is good worth noting, I suppose. Anyways, this is probably gonna be a free spikes for the Luigi quillfish, which is good for him. But then Flygon is probably gonna be the switch in for Cashman Kev, which can defog it, or it could be Rotom to annoy Luigi's team again because it annoyed him the first time. So maybe he makes a double switch out into Sneasel here. We'll have to wait and see. And he does very good on his part. I like that. So now the question is if he's going to try to make another double to take advantage of the Registeel coming, or if he's going to knock that off, or maybe even low kick it. I don't think he carries low kick, so he's probably going to knock it. I think he's just going to flip knockoff here, predicting Registeel to get that crippled. I mean, he could go to something to take advantage of that because it's fairly obvious at this point. He's not going to stand with the Flygon here. He doesn't have any alternative switching, so I think that knockoff into Registeel is actually the best place. It'll chip it down and make Sneasel much more effective later in the game. So let's wait and see. But that was definitely a well thought out play by Luigi to get momentum back on his side of the game. Now, Luigi's timer's at 150, so he's definitely thinking of the way. Oh, and he's going to pursue that. Very good. I didn't even think of that opportunity that he opened himself up for. That's a 75%. That's going to leave Flygon eventually needing to either recover or die out. And if Rocks is still up when it dies out, then that puts Luigi in a great position because the Diancie would be weakened and the rest of his team would be weakened. So I think that Luigi sort of evened up a game that he sort of was on the slight backhand of his foot on, given the fact that he got Virizion burnt and that Rotom matches up pretty well with his team, I'd say. But now Kevin gets the Stealth Rocks up for his side, so it's going to even out. But we'll have to see how Luigi takes advantage. He's probably going into one of his waters of Virizion. When he goes into Virizion, not a Stealth Rock there. It's probably going to be a Calm Mind variant. The question is if he carries Hidden Power Rock, and if he could Hidden Power Rock into this Fletch. I honestly do not know what standard CM Virizion runs besides Calm Mind, Focus Blast, Giga Drain. I'd gather that it was Hidden Power Rock. It was Hidden Power Rock in like Black and White, UU and OU at some point, but I don't know if that's still the case in ORAS RU. I've not played this tire enough to really know, to be honest, so I'm quite sorry about that. But anyway, looking at the this play, instead of going to this instead of one of the waters, I'd be inclined to do something to touch that Fletch, or it's aggressively doubling out knowing that he doesn't need this much because it can't touch Fletch, so he's willing to let it get weakened earlier in the game, as long as he can still check Rotom temporarily for a fair amount of time. And he could probably switch into another Hex plus Stealth Rock plus Baron switch in, so I guess that's good. Especially given that it's a bulkier Rotom, given the Volt Switch damage and Effect was left over. So yeah, you could check it for a while. I guess this is a Life Orb variant, so I could Focus Blast into the Fletch, and that would do a fair amount. Probably forcing it to at least Roost, so he gets a free turn into Diancie or one of the waters again. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so there it goes, and that's going to be the Focus Blast, and that's going to do 65, so yep, it's going to be forcing it to Roost. And the question here is that, is he going to Roost, and is Luigi going to try to play into the Roost and Focus Blast, or is Luigi going to make the safe switch out? And I'd guess that Luigi's going to make the safe switch out at this point in the game. And I think that Kevin is probably going to go for Roost at this point, because I think that Kevin's a bit more of a risky player than Luigi is. He's a bit more experienced and comfortable in this tire. But he could go for the Acrobatics, trying to play safe as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's really, it's not necessarily a 50-50 per se, but there are two choices for each player. One is roosting versus attacking, and one is attacking versus switching out for New Breed and Luigi, respectively. Cash Money Kevin, aka New Breed's timer is down at 90 seconds, so it's worth noting. He's definitely thinking more. Now it's down at 60, but it could also be the Australian internet restricting him. There's going to be the Yanti switch in. Is he going to Roost? I think he's going to... Oh, Will-O-Wisp. Okay, that's a fine play as well, so I stand corrected once again. But this could very well be a Heal Bell variant. So, honestly, I do not think Luigi should feel bad for not attacking there, because that would have been a very risky, hard play to make, and I think that he could still use that Virizion later in the game, especially if this is a Heal Bell variant. If this is a Heal Bell, then that was very well a free switch in for the Yanti, so even if though he lost that quote-unquote 50-50, it wasn't really 50-50, it wouldn't have really mattered in the long run, so that is fine for Luigi, of course. Just thinking here now, if he has Stealth Rock, I don't think he goes for it here. Instead, I think that he goes for the Heal Bell, but he could be thinking otherwise, given that... Okay, we're going to find out. Yeah, he's going for Stealth Rock. Okay, maybe he lacks the Heal Bell, in which case he's probably just got 3 attacks alongside this, which is kind of crippling because now he's got 2 burnt Pokemon. But he did get Rocks up, and the Flygon is in range to be pretty much killed by anything. It can't swear to switch in, which is got to come after something dies or a double switch. So I'm thinking here that Luigi doesn't really have much reason to switch. He could just fire it off and attack, but Registeel is probably coming in for Kevin. So maybe he'll go to Virizion here, and then fire off a free Focus Blast, and that's going to be a Swords Dance, and that's going to be an Earth Power. What? Uh-oh. Could be predicting. If Luigi can't touch this, I'm pretty sure he can. I think that he's, yeah, okay. I think that that sword dance was a play to bait in the Reggie steal on the rock move that it has. Oh, Acro, what is he gonna please go for the Diamond Storm? Yup, that's gonna take it out. Okay, I guess he did not value the life of the Fletch that much because rocks were up and the defogger was weak. But I do think that it was sort of more useful than he valued it, although that, it could be a Sash Sigilif, in which case that wouldn't be the case. But I think that the priority was nice to have, although with rocks up and defogger weak, I can understand that play. It did weaken the Diancie, which was annoying, and it didn't really have much of switching into Moonblast plus Earth Power bar Reggie Steel, which wouldn't have taken repetitive attacks. I'm getting pinged on IRC right now, and I'm just gonna say fuck you to whoever that is. I'm sorry. It's gonna be 40 seconds after catch my If he's gonna go to this, I don't know if he's gonna go for the kill or go for the defog or what, but there's gonna be at least one Pokemon dead at the end of this turn. Because there's no way that Luigi's gonna switch out here, unless he really wants to fight it. But he doesn't have that safe a switching. So yeah, Earth Power is gonna be play. Shaka, but doesn't matter, he's dead. Now he's going to take Life Orb damage. He's going to be at 10% with Rocks up, and Luigi's going to get momentum. I gather that he's going to go to Virizion or Sneasel. Probably Virizion because it's going to take Stealth Rock damage. But it could very well be Sneasel to just trap him, but that Stealth Rock damage could be annoying. Actually, I think that Sneasel is just a more logical play because it gets rid of the Flygon for good. But then he loses momentum to the Sock or the Reggie Steel, so I don't know. I think that if he goes to the Virizion, he can just spam Giga Drain and then spam Focus Blast, but at the same time, it's not a sure thing. But with that Fletch dead, I really like the Virizion's ability to just tear through Kevin's team, and Sigilyph, if the has the right moves and Drapion gets it more weakened, it could do a comparable job of really just breaking through Kevin's team. So I think that Luigi has a slight advantage at this point, but he's thinking quite a bit. Timer down at 120, so really it could go either way at this point. I'm wondering. He's gonna definitely go to Sneasel or Virizion. It's gotta be one of those because those are the only two Pokemon that are definitely quicker than it. Although I don't think that Sigilyph's quicker than given that was Life Orb. So therefore, it's offensive defog, probably Draco, Earth Power, Fire Blast, Roost, defog. 4 of those 5 with defog and Earth Power being definitely there, and Draco almost definitely being there, almost always definitely being there. He's gonna like to go to Virizion, which is fine. I think that foddering of this Flygon is just optimal play. He's not going to get a defog off on almost anything. He's probably just going to be fodder if he gets switched out later anyway. He's nothing that can really safely switch into all the moves. And then he's probably just going to go for Giga Drain here. So, I mean, in theory, Registeel is safe. But then it just comes in on Focus Blast. So, yeah, Giga Drain into the Flygon is a safe play. And after the Life Orb, Recovery, and Burn damage, the Virizion is going to find itself at approximately 30%, rounds down to 29 because of PS, but you don't know what exactly that is. And now the Drapion is going to come in here, which is probably a pretty expected play. So the question is this Scarf? And if not, are you just going to go for Focus Blast to nuke this, hopefully hit, and weaken it for the rest of your Pokemon to kill you more effectively through your team later, such as Sigilyph? Or are you going to predict it to be Scarf and go for like Quillfish? He's not going to go for it, so he's probably just going to go for Knockoff here. So he could go out to Quillfish, fairly safe because he's already been knocked off. But, okay, it's Scarf, it goes for Poison Jab, and that's that. So there goes the Virizion. I don't really agree with that play. I think he should have just went to Quillfish, to be quite honest. Because he's got stuff to outspeed Sock, but unless that was a Scarf Sock, but given the damage on Quillfish, I don't know if that was Scarf Sock. Maybe it could be Scarf Adamant. Yeah, I disagree with that play, to be quite honest. I think that he's going to double to Sneasel here on the predicted Rotom. Yeah, he's going to have to double Sneasel here on the predicted Rotom. I think that's the play. The question is if he goes like Sock or something, trying to negate that his ability to do that. But I think that really you got to go for the risk at this point because he didn't see through that Scarf Drapion, which is, in my opinion, something you should have scouted for at this point in the game when you had a Quillfish that was fairly healthy. So yeah, we're going to see a Sock to try to negate a potential Sneasel double, and we're going to see the Sneasel double. So that's going to work out in New Breed's favor slightly, but he's still on his toes against the Sneasel in the long run. But now that we know he has a Scarf Drapion, at least that could revenge kill it. So that's a bit better for Kevin. I guess that the play here is either to go to the Quillfish to sort of check it temporarily, get intimidated off and probably get 2 KO'd, or to go for the Icicle Crush Flinch if you're Luigi and you want to go for a shot in the dark to get yourself back up in the game. Judging on his position right now, I think that Luigi's probably just going to go for the safer switch, but that's not going to help him in the long run. He's probably not going to be able to win and come back. But, I mean, to be honest, I'd probably go for the flinch at this point in the game. But I don't know RU, I don't know sets, etc. So maybe he's got better options than I think. Maybe he's got a different Sigilyph set than I think, etc. He's actually going to go out to a Sigilyph on the close combat. Okay. That's some progress. So those 30%, so it's definitely a banded, probably banded jolly. Sock. Now this is probably gonna it definitely tanks a pursuit from Drapion at this health, but doesn't tank it if it switches, or it doesn't take a knock, of course. So I gather that he just goes for if he has Heat Wave, I think he goes for Heat Wave because that will do fair damage to Drapion, and it will 2 KO or 3 KO to Registeel, probably 3 KO because it's so fat, and it'll also do quite a bit of damage to the Rotom, which is already at 9% after Stealth Rock. Leftovers factor that in, so it'll be at 83.5% after everything's said and done. Go to Registeel. We can see Heat Wave. We're going to see a Thunder Wave. Okay. That's not what you want to see. You don't like the Thunder Wave, huh? I'm really not seeing what he's going to do with this. Sigilyph is Life Orb, Thunder Wave. So it's only got 2 attacks and Roost, I guess. That's not really that great a set for this situation. I mean, I guess you get free Slowking or free Quillfish here, but like, what are you gonna do with that in the long haul? I just don't know. I think Luigi's condition to victory is becoming a lot less straightforward and a lot more convoluted as time passes, given the way he's played it and the way that things have transpired with Discard Drapion and all. So, moreover, it looks as if the Registeel is just going to be able to do whatever it wants here. I don't know if it's the Iron Head or Seismic Toss, but it comes down to whichever two it has. He's probably just going to attack unless it wants to go for like a Thunder Wave of its own, which is also fine. If this is toxic and it gets toxic into the Slowking, then that could be a complete bitch. And this can be a Scald, do 13. If that's toxic, that's lights. Okay, it missed, and Luigi's going to take advantage of that, but I don't think that it really means much in the long haul. I think that Kevin still wins this game. In fact, I think the Quillfish is so obvious here that you almost want to double that to Rotom. I don't know if it's worth the risk. That's called a laughable amount, by the way. He's going to go out to Sigilyph on the Toxic, and he's going to get predicated in the Seismic Toss. That's going to be great. Kevin's going to really just be playing him to death at this point in the game. And now he goes for the Heat Wave, and does he live that? Oh, he doesn't? I guess he lacked the Roost. Okay, I don't see who even breaks this Registeel, to be quite honest. This is pretty much over in Kevin's favor. It's going to be a 3-0 or a 4-0 at this point. And, yeah, I'm not too fond of how Luigi played this, to be quite honest. I mean, he didn't play it awfully. He had a chance going into it. But given the sets of the remaining Pokemon on both parties, it's definitely Kevin's game. Luigi's timer is going to go to 9. He's just going to go to Weavile and the Sneasel, sorry, his desperation move. Maybe he's going to knock it off. Maybe he's just going to low kick. I don't know. I still don't think he has the low kick, so quite frankly, this is a sort of useless Pokemon. But yeah, this is over, and it's going to be 6-5 in favor of the Classiest, coming down to the GSC game between IFM and Yera, I think. Yeah, they still. Oh no, sorry, IFM and MOP. And Mop has been sort of doing not too well this year. Net is going to do 47% from the knockoff into the Sock. He gets down to preserve the Registeel, which is fine. Now Sock, if it has Earthquake, it's just going to click it. If not, it's just going to knock off our CC. Excuse me. Anyway, sorry, that was a sneeze. But yeah, he's going to go for knock here, I guess. And it's probably going to go for Quillfish here for Luigi. Then fire off the Quillfish and go back to Sneasel. And then it's going to eventually die to Stealth Rock. Eventually Registeel plus Drapion plus Rotom will win. And that's going to be that. I guess this game will last under 40 turns. It's just a clear path to victory. It's going to do nothing. Oh my god, is he going to Psyshock or Slack? He's going to Psyshock. Okay. So, I mean, really it's a 3-3 situation, but I don't see how he beats the Registeel at this point, or the Rotom, really, besides Sneasel offensively, and then Sneasel offensively still can't break either of the other two Pokemon, given that one outspeeds and kills it, and the other is bulky enough to tank it and kill it after Stealth Rock with Seismic Toss, I believe. So, therefore, you're going to be seeing an endless game in a fairly hasty fashion. I guess the play here is the Sneasel again. You can just go for some power hacks for a win. And yep, that's going to be his line of action. So he's going to use a knockoff, para. Maybe the fourth one will kill, maybe the third one will kill. I don't know. It is choice banded and there is an item on it, but there won't be an item on it after the first one. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. If he gets to Paras, then Drapion comes in and just clicks Earthquake and wins anyway. And he's going to get one para. Again. I think this is over regardless. The Drapion is at 88. You can click Earthquake and pretty much win. No second power, so yeah, this is lights out anyway. Yeah, Hickory said in the chat himself that this doesn't matter at all, and Hickory, I agree with him. This is over, and Scald is not going to kill this, and there's going to be a seismic toss. Just to add insult to injury, it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Luigi. And he's definitely got outplayed by New Breed there, but he also lacked the tire knowledge and the team building prowess of New Breed that led New Breed to victory. So therefore, it was a clean, conclusive victory for New Breed. And the Classiest at 6-5, and that is good game. Peace. This is finish.